Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Just Another Castle podcast. Eli's not here this week, presumably at a shorts convention, so he's made me the host for today. Here with me, as usual, is the rant and raving Mike.
That's not true. I'm the polite, quiet guy.
Of course, the Xeno-loving Flea,
Hola amigos.
and our special guest today, Sam the Hedgehog.
Yeah, that's a pretty good description. Yeah, with
All right.
the one with the Sora avatar. It makes perfect sense.
All right, so as I said, Flea's gone away doing I forget who knows what, so he's put me in charge, and we'll see how well this goes. So first off, we'll start with what everyone's been playing. I'll start with myself because I don't have too much to say. We actually forgot once again to talk about the Mario Kart 8 DLC last week, but now it's finally out, and hopefully some of you have played it. So what did you guys think? For me, it was kind of hit and miss, the same with the first pack was. With the first pack, there was one cup that I really liked, and then there was another one that was kind of so-so with. And it seems to have happened again with this pack. I liked one of them a lot, and then the other one I was just kind of about. Who else has played the new DLC?
We all know
I
how
have
I
no-
feel about the Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
So,
That cuts you out.
I'm actually in the same boat as Mike on this one. I actually sold Mario Kart 8 last month.
Oh,
or the
wow.
month before.
you're a good man.
I got disgusted with it.
What pushed you over the edge?
Well, I didn't like how that they advertised the DLC on the character select screen. I didn't like the idea of them having characters on the select screen that you can't play as. That bummed me out so much unless you pay money.
Yeah, that is
And,
a pain in the butt. Like,
They
here, look
do
what
that
we
for
have.
a
Oh,
long
but you
time
have to
now,
pay money.
since the announcement, but that sounds pretty Capcom-esque.
Yeah,
It's very, very like sleazy, and that, and I think it's also because I played so much Mario Kart growing up that, and I've played all the games now, and it's like I've just kind of wore myself out of it. The game is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful, but I just can't get into it. And I tried and tried and tried and tried, but I couldn't. So I was like, okay, I'm happy with taking like $30 on this.
yeah,
I got Wind Waker for free. That was
nice.
my happy place.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no,
kind of
for
went
me,
with,
it's just, I don't know, I feel like the gameplay in this one is like, it's like
I
average.
didn't
Like,
care
yeah, like,
for
you
it
know, like
either.
that, like you said, you can't get into it, but for me, it was more like such a disappointment, because I felt like Wii and 7 were so good, and then when I got 8, I was just like, no. Like,
Well, the gameplay felt more polished in like the older ones. This one's like the most minimalistic Mario Kart when it comes to like features and things.
yeah,
Like a lot of people don't realize, like just hitting the pause menu. I mean, there's like so little customization. It just bums the crap out of me. But yeah.
yeah. I think I'm kind of in the same spot you are, Sam. Where when I got Mario Kart 8, it felt a little like I still like it and all, but it felt like it was missing something besides just other modes. And I think for
Oh,
me,
absolutely.
like, it's just here's a bunch of cups, that's it, basically no other modes. But besides that, I think for me it was the fact that life just changed. Like, I didn't, in this generation, I haven't really had the accessibility of friends coming over a lot, so I think that's what kind of really hit it for me. It's like, oh, it's just me playing it now. Now I realize how little there was to play if it's just single player, right?
Oh yeah, like I grew up with Mario Kart 64 was like my main Mario Kart, and
Yeah,
I
same.
played it so much with so many friends. That's how
Yeah.
I remember that game, is playing it with people. And now I have so few people over. It's like, well, if I play 8, I'm playing it online. That's the only time I play it.
Yeah.
It's like with friends because I can't play it alone. Just can't do it anymore.
The interesting thing that they've done with the DLC so far, and I thought of it before but didn't mention it, is that 200cc mode is basically F-Zero mode with Mute City before and now Big Blue. It's basically like, let's test how many people actually like F-Zero, and then maybe we'll make a game, I don't know, or maybe we'll just sit on it and hope people buy it in this one. Because the F-Zero
Oh,
tracks are
man.
like some of the best tracks.
I
the
have to
DLC.
say on that subject that I respectfully disagree because F-Zero is nothing like Mario Kart 200cc.
Sure, but it's still they're trying to emulate that, right? Like in their own kind of way.
Somewhat, I guess.
Yeah.
I was pissed off that they announced that like 2 weeks after I sold the game. They're like, oh, here's faster mode, what I wanted from the beginning.
Oh, really?
I wanted Mario Kart to be faster, actually.
It's I didn't think it would be that big of a difference at first, but I'm like, whatever, 200cc, they're just blowing smoke. But I played it and it's really ridiculous. Like when they say you have to be on the brakes, you have to be on the brakes or let off the gas or something because you're not going to make a lot of the turns. It's just
Yeah,
nuts.
it looked more akin to Sonic and Sega All Stars Transformed because the speed you get in that, I say that's like the Need for Speed kind of kart racer, and it seems like they kind of slapped that kind of speed into Mario Kart, and I was like, that looks kind of fun, but it's gone. I'm not paying $60 again.
Yeah, there's no point in that.
I'm hoping that someday they'll like release a Mario Kart Super Pack, like maybe late in the Wii U's lifespan, where it'll be, here's Mario Kart 8, and here's the DLC. It'll be like the new Super Mario Brothers Luigi U kind of bundle. Yeah, do that, and I'll buy it again later. But
I'm sure they. I was gonna say I'm sure they would, but I don't know because Nintendo doesn't like to drop their price, so I don't.
Right.
There's an equal potential for them not bundling it and being like, well, too bad, you're gonna pay our premium price like you always did. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
So, Mike, what have you been playing lately?
Well, I finally I told you guys I finally went to my Vita, so I was able to play all week Ollie Ollie 2 and Danganronpa 2. I finally got that plat for Kingdom Hearts 2 5 hours ago, so I'm done with 2.5 officially. So it's apparently a 2 week for me. I just realized every game I played had a 2 in the title. So with the Kingdom Hearts thing, it was awesome because it was terrible and awesome, but it was yay, I'm finally done with it. But okay, I wasted my life doing these terrible missions that nobody enjoys. They're optional ship missions that make no sense.
Collecting the ice cream cones or whatever that you did in that one stream.
Okay, it's like that, but even worse. In Kingdom Hearts 1, at least they're kind of specific. In this one, it's always get 1,000,000 points for mission 3, and it's you need an S rank, and it's okay, dude, I'm just gonna. I don't even know how that works. I'm just gonna put 50,000 guns on this ship and magically win. So it kind of worked a lot like that, and I was just when I banged it out, it felt good. But other than that, I mean, I didn't win the tournament Saturday. I lost to the Buzz in finals, but Sunday I won an easy 100. So I'm still up $600 from Smash. So we all good. We all good.
All right, and Flea, what have you been playing?
I've been playing the online functionality or online segment of Bayonetta 2.
Oh, cool.
I didn't play it because I wanted to finish the game in all of the difficulty levels, and it's really fun. It's really, really, really fun. I never expected it would be so engaging because, in a way, it's competitive and cooperative in the same time when you play with another. It's really, really unique.
Was the other person you were playing with any good?
It depends. There were some that were really, really good. I mean like pros, and others that they really suck at balls. Big time.
How does online work in Bayonetta? Do you fight each other or you fight for one mission?
I will try to explain because you people know that English is not my first language, so I try to be as much as coherent as possible. You play with another guy and try to beat hordes or waves or versicles of enemies in a level. But in this type of game in the multiplayer, you choose the enemies by selecting a tarot card. When you beat the game in the different difficulty levels, you beat all the game in easy, normal, and hard, and then beat all the extra witch training that there are 5 level more, you get tarot cards. Tarot cards, and these cards, you get exactly the amount of 52 cards. And then online, when you play online, you can play with a CPU, like a partner with the AI, or you can play with another character. But the cool thing is that you have a randomly selected app that select the card for you, or you can pick it yourself, and you have 3 type of bets to make. When you make 1-star bet, 2-star bets, or 3-star bets in each card. When you bet, what you bet is money, and if you bet 3 stars, for example, is the most difficult setting that you will enter in that particular enemy. And if you go with another player, the one that the one that kills more enemies or do better combos wins that match. And not only wins the match, it wins the money. You know?
I hear you.
So it's really, it's really cool concept because, and another cool thing is that when you are playing online with another player and, for example, the player lost the connection or he quit, you continue playing with the same character that the other guy had, but now the character is controlled with the CPU, so you can still finish that level.
That's good. Then you're not totally screwed out of a match.
Yeah, no, what happens is that sometimes when the other player drops off, the one that drops off doesn't get the money. The one that remains there with the AI and still can beat that enemy gets all the money.
Yeah, that's cool. I saw there was an online component, but I never ended up trying it. Probably because I didn't want to embarrass myself in front of the other person and suck.
Seriously though, I loved both games. I mean, Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2, I love them a lot. But the online aspect of Bayonetta 2, it really has made me really surprised and interested to see what the future holds now. I mean, in the multiplayer aspect of this franchise.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see where they can go from here.
Yeah.
Especially with chainsaws on like your legs and stuff. That's just ridiculous. Awesome.
Because I don't know if the hardware capabilities of the Wii U can do that, but I know that in the future generation of Nintendo, I mean the next console that's called Nintendo NX, perhaps you can play the game in this way, like co-op all the time, and also betting. That would be really interesting to play a chapter of the game all the way through with another player and then bet money and see who wins. And the cool thing that I say when I say competitive and cooperative is that if the other player dies, you have to revive him. Because if you don't revive him, you also lose. So that's really cool.
Oh, cool. So it's got like a Resident Evil 5 aspect to it. Or 6 or whatever one it was.
It's some sort of I really can't put another example because it's really unique, you know. And I think, for example, like guys like you, Matt, Sam, and Mike, you will really love the multiplayer aspect of Bayonetta 2.
It looked fun from what I saw. It did look really good. I love cooperative action games, almost any kind, because co-op is just fun. It's just
when they're simple.
In a way, you have, and it's also very customizable because you can select 3 characters and you can unlock 3 more, so you have 6 characters to select in total. And that's really
Sweet.
cool.
Cool.
That is cool.
All right, so Sam, what have you been playing lately? Obviously not Mario Kart 8, but...
Well, first I want to apologize in advance for the squeaking and piano playing. The squeaking is my parakeets, and the piano playing is my sister.
No problem.
She has to practice.
We've had
so the parakeet's now playing the piano? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV, which is an online MMO.
Oh, dang it. I was thinking 15.
Oh, no.
15
You got my hopes
demo
up.
with Type 0, Matt. 14 is like on the second version, A New Realm Reborn or something?
Yeah, it's A Realm Reborn. Yeah, I've been pouring a lot of time into it. Like my weekends are mostly composed of that game.
I've never played like an MMO like that. Like, so what? Like, and since it has Final Fantasy components, is it different from like what World of Warcraft is, or is it like, I don't really know much about MMOs.
It's very similar to World of Warcraft, but it's got a lot of Final Fantasy elements. I mean, it does its own thing. I've heard a lot of people say it's like the better World of Warcraft. I wouldn't know because I haven't played World of Warcraft. I really like this game, and I probably have put over 100 hours into it.
Wow.
Probably.
So
PC, PS4, but like I know it's on consoles.
It's on. Did you say consoles?
Yeah, do you have it for console or do you have it for PC?
It's on PC, PS3, and PS4. I play it on PS3, and it's actually cross-platform, so everyone's playing at the same time. So you'll have
nice.
PC players and PS3 players and PS4 players all playing at the same time, and it's really, really easy to get matches going and get people together because it's just on so many different things.
Do you think cross-platform is the future then? Like, you think that's possible? Or, like, it would only be, like, a PC with PlayStation 4, a PC with Xbox, or you can never see PlayStation, Nintendo in one?
I don't know. Sometimes I think that it's possible for them to do it, but they don't want to do it. Like they don't want to put in the time, and the relations between Sony and Microsoft have never been quite, buddy.
I think they don't want to work together. But I thought there was some game that worked with the two communities, wasn't there? Like Portal or something else.
Portal works with Steam.
Yeah,
but
I remember that. I could have sworn there was something.
It's one of the few games. It's one of the few games that actually works 3 platforms together in one, and it does it pretty well. Besides the fact that the PS3 version runs like shit because the frame rate is so bad, but I really don't have any other choice to play it, and it's fun though.
So what makes Final Fantasy XIV, the MMO, different from like a regular Final Fantasy game, besides the fact that you're with other people?
It is real-time combat, no turn-based combat, huge, massive world, it's interconnected, and it has a lot of Final Fantasy fan service, so if you've played any of the older games, there's a lot of fan service. It's really streamlined as well. I know the last few Final Fantasies that have come out, 13 and the whole 13 saga, but even playing 10, like I've been replaying Final Fantasy X, and it's just so much. 14 is just there's so much polish to it. It's because they failed so miserably with the first version that they really took the time to make this one legit. Like there's just so many like little things to the game. It's one of the few games I would say that they really thought of. They tried to think of everything, and it's all the better for it. So
it has a lot of fan service.
Huh? What is it, Plea?
It has a lot of fan service.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. I consider myself a mild Final Fantasy fan, but there's been enough fan service in it to make me go nuts. So someone who's really into the series will go crazy.
How about Final Fantasy VII? It has a lot of things about that.
No one wants to hear about that mainstream ass game.
It does actually have.
We only care about Final Fantasy IX up in here.
It's 9 is awesome. I agree. 9 is cool. 8 is cool, but 7 was the game changer, man.
Hey man, just because it's first doesn't mean it's best.
It's not first. It's 7th.
Also, I think the thing that it really has going for it, though.
Oh my gosh, Mike, you're slow. Sorry, Sam. What was that?
Oh, I was just going to say that the main thing that this game, that 14 has going for it, is how accessible it is. It's probably the most accessible Final Fantasy game since 7. Like, it is easy to get into, hard to master. It's really good in that aspect. So, it also has a 14-day free trial, so if any of you have been thinking about it, I'm more than happy to run some quests with you if you want to. So
cool.
Yeah.
All right, so before I start some news, I thought of something pertaining to Nintendo and DLC. So I remember Unaclay talked in one of his blogs about Smash Bros. Harming the sales of other games because, in his words, it's just so awesome he forgot about everything else. But do you think releasing the Mewtwo DLC and the Mario Kart 8 DLC within a few days of each other harms their sales? Because one person might get one, and by the time they're finished with it, forget about the other DLC and just not buy it?
You know, I was like, I was gonna say it'll help out because, you know, when you go into eShop, they advertise both all the time.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know 200cc was out. I mean, granted that I think Mario Kart 8 is like a piece of crap in a Blu-ray disc. Like, I think that does hurt. Like, as someone who, like, you know, like, I do enjoy Nintendo, and they're probably the only, like, digital shop I look at. It's like, I totally forgot about Mario Kart DLC. But there could be some biasness towards it, so I wonder how Flea and Sam feel about it.
Honestly, I'm not sure if it hurts necessarily, because I almost feel like that Mario Kart and Smash are like completely different communities. I mean, if you're competitive at Mario Kart, you're gonna want that DLC like the minute it happens. I know people who are in it got it, and if you're in the Smash community, you're getting that first. Like, honestly, but I honestly don't think that there are that many people that like
want to play both at once.
Yeah, that want to play both at the same time. So it's like, I guess that it could hurt sales. I don't know, but I definitely know that Mario Kart definitely appeals to more people.
Yeah.
So it would probably do better off the bat. So that's just my guess.
Do you have any thoughts, Flea?
I think that is a really subjective question, because, for example, in my case, I wanted the Mario Kart 8 DLC from day one, but in Smash, I don't plan to buy anything. I bought the Wii U version of the game, and I don't plan to buy anything regarding DLC. I mean, not even the Mii suits or the Mewtwo, because I'm not as competitive, because we play Smash with my friends only.
Yeah.
I don't play Smash online or even single player. The Smash that I bought for Wii U is for when we gather with my friends on the weekends to play. So it's enough for us to have, I don't know, how many characters are in the roster? 44?
Like 50 something, but yeah.
51.
Yeah, so for us is, I don't know, maybe in the future if Nintendo releases a physical copy with all the DLC and call it, for example, Super Smash Bros. Wii U DLC edition, perhaps I buy that version, but DLC for Smash, no thanks. But for Mario Kart 8, yes.
It looks like I'm the odd man out then that's gotten both of them. But technically I paid for the Mario Kart 8 DLC before, like when it first came out, and then technically I already got Mewtwo for free because I had both of them. So they were both like paid for ahead of time, but I guess I'm the only one interested in both and can't juggle either of them. All right, so...
Well, Matt, I was going to say, I know it's going to cut into, like, somewhat news, but, sure. Flea, if there was DLC, like, a different mode added to Smash, how would you feel about that? Like, it's not a new one character, like, they added, like, a whole new mode for everyone to play, single or multiplayer.
For example, it would be fun, but what we do, we play with my friends, we play the classic Smash, you know? The Smash option, I don't know, the one that you enter, the one that is in the left, Smash. We enter and we play that
like
one.
Just normal multiplayer mode. I guess.
And what we do now, that is really fun, we choose, for example, the first time we play, we choose the normal stage. The second time, the final destination stage of a random stage. The third time, a normal stage. The fourth time, a final destination stage. We churn ourselves, you know?
I hear you.
Cool. All right, so one little joke thing before we start the news. I saw a funny image of someone making fun of exclusivity for amiibos. As we all know, there's it gets annoying sometimes where some characters are exclusive to some stores, and it's just a pain in the ass. So someone posted this picture of the next wave of DLC or next wave of amiibos being exclusive to stores. For example, Dr. Mario being exclusive to a pharmacy company, Rob being exclusive to Radio Shack, Duck Hunt for PetSmart, Zero Suit Samus for Victoria's Secret.
You know something? This is really funny, but do you know if they do that, it will work?
Oh gosh, I know. Well, that would be weird for like all these young men and boys to line up at Victoria's Secret, and they're like,
exactly
"What
what I
are you doing?" Oh gosh, that would be so hilarious and awkward. And then the final one they put is the nail in the coffin. It's as bad as the Mario Kart trophy being exclusive to New York. It's Mewtwo being exclusive to the Pokemon Center in Tokyo.
Oh gosh.
Literally worse than that Mario Kart trophy in New York.
Oh my gosh, that would be a fate worse than death for collectors.
Yeah, that I would hate that. I really would want Mewtwo. Oh my gosh. I hate that. But alright, so now on to actual news. There's quite a bit. So this thing came out saying Nintendo ranks 9th out of the top 10 public companies by game revenues, behind companies like Google and King, the makers of Candy Crush, based on the last 2 years, 2013 and 2014, their earning reports. So the Wii U did have like a lot of great games last year in 2014, but they actually made less last year than in 2013, which is weird because you would think better games would be better sales. But my theory is possibly the production of the new 3DS cut down, how much earnings they got. Like, whatever. Making the new 3DS cut them in the red a little bit, possibly. What did I write here? But also the fact that there weren't even a lot of big 3DS games last year, which is, as we know, the better selling console of the tool. Last year, the only really big games that came out were Pokemon, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Remix, and Smash Bros. So it could be that the 3DS didn't have a great year, so then Nintendo didn't have a great year so much.
Yeah, that's what I initially thought when you said something. The 3DS was probably down last year, which is why their like sales records were kind of stagnant. Yeah. Though I would think that their peak was when Smash 3DS came out, though. So I'm pretty sure everyone who was looking forward to Smash, well, most people bought it then because they were so anxious to get it.
Yeah,
I know that was like the first 3DS game I bought in months.
Yeah, I guess there just weren't enough 3DS games that peaked over throughout the year, whereas other years probably had, even if they weren't as big, they had it like consistently. But
right.
It still kind of sucks that they somehow did less, even though they had a ton of great Wii U games. You'd hope that would propel them further, but apparently not.
Well, that and the amount of games that came out, the good games were like really late in the year.
Yeah.
So it was like, they didn't have a lot of time to like build it up either. Though, Wait a minute, Mario Kart came out in May, right?
Yeah, I think that was
of last year.
Huh. Yeah, you're right. Last
31st. Year. Pretty sure that like the last week, 27th, 31st. Because then I know in June that was when you were able to claim your free game.
Right.
Yeah, I remember it being May. So at least that has had a lot of time to go over.
I guess that really just shows how much bigger the 3DS is compared to the Wii U, because like if the 3DS does bad, it doesn't matter if the Wii U's doing great.
Yeah.
Like it's that bad. It's kind of sad, but
it sucks, but maybe they'll pick up eventually. But conversely, Nintendo's market cap, which is the amount of shares bought times the share value, has actually doubled to 24 million since January, when they announced their VNX and all that other stuff. So since January and up until this point, they've actually doubled how much their shares are worth, which is kind of crazy because it's been such a short time.
I've read from an analyst that said that Nintendo was worth before the announcement of the Dena with the partnership with Dena. The company was worth, I think, for 20 to 22 billion dollars, and now it worth $37 billion.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. All right, so the next piece of news is Splatoon is getting a Wii U bundle for $300, which sounds cool, but it's stupid because it's exclusive to Best Buy. For what reason, we don't know. So it could have been maybe Nintendo wasn't thinking of doing a bundle, and Best Buy was like, "Hey, we want a bundle. We'll make a deal with you." Or maybe Nintendo's just going crazy with exclusives, and they're like, "Let's just be stupid."
What I'm really mad is that, for example, all the exclusive systems with the game that comes out with the PlayStation 4, it doesn't have a lot of work in the system, you know? It has some sort of label with some sort of thing, a little draw. The Wii U versions of the system that comes with the games that are bundled doesn't have anything. I'm really mad about Nintendo with that thing. It doesn't cost them so much to have a little splash of painting to make a decal in the Wii U console for the Splatoon, or for example in the Zelda when they did the collector edition that only the gamepad had the things for the Wind Waker one. They can also could have done that in the system, you know.
Even just changing the color of the paint or just the color of the system itself would have been cool. But to add insult to injury with what you're saying that they could have done something to spice it up, Nintendo Land will come with it pre-installed, so it's a download, and Splatoon will also be given out as a download code, so you don't get a retail copy. So they're saving money both ways, and they're not really doing much else to the console, which would have been cool. Okay, so speaking of Splatoon, Nintendo plans to support it post-launch with DLC. So I guess with how much Nintendo's been going with DLC, it's not too crazy, and thinking of it earlier in the development cycle, now it's not like Mario Kart 8 where you're going to have to wait like 8 months for them to do something. And it's an online multiplayer shooter, so that's not really out of the ordinary to add more stuff to keep the community going. But hopefully they'll add voice chat, because as the video game Her documented on their website, it's She Attack. Okay, I thought so. I thought I was screwing it up. But on their website, She Attack, they documented Nintendo's Facebook page with all the fans out making a huge outcry at the fact that there's no voice chat. Like, I tried to go on the Facebook page before, but there was only like 2 articles, so I don't know if they deleted something. But on her video, you can see like basically every comment, or the top comment is like, I hope they add like voice chat, and just making fun of the post, like, what's in this picture? It's like, it's voice chat. Oh no, it's not. So I mean, if they're gonna add DLC, they hopefully should add voice chat. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I know the Wii U is kind of limited when it comes to voice chat because of the gamepad. Mm-hmm. I know there's voice. I've used the voice chat in Smash, and it's not the greatest. It's really laggy and kind of hard to make out, and it's really like it's difficult. Yeah, I mean, I think it could be done in the right hands, but I think they're more going to focus on just making the game run smoothly online as is.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, one of the Call of Duty games actually has online voice chat in their game, so it's not like it's impossible, because they've been able to do it, and I think they have the support for external microphones, possibly. But yeah, if you could have an external mic, I mean, there shouldn't be anything stopping you from doing it, because that's the one big problem with me if they did do voice chat, is the fact that the microphone on the gamepad just sucks.
Yeah, it's just bad. Like, see, the thing with Call of Duty is you can buy your own like headsets and stuff, and you can get better sound quality out of those than you can get out of the cheap little thingy that's in the gamepad. But I will say though that about the DLC, it kind of saw it coming because like what first person shooter these days doesn't have, or any kind of shooter anyway that has they're going to have multiplayer maps, and they're a lot easier to throw together than something like a Mario Kart racetrack, because you gotta calculate like all the speed reduction and all that crap to make sure it's playable. And whereas a map, it's kind of just like, okay, we have the layout, we just make a layout and then we just make sure that everyone can run around, right? And boom. Much easier than making like a Mario Kart racetrack.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it helps the community stay alive, right? If you keep adding content every now and again.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's the only reason Uncharted 3's multiplayer still works is because like last year or the year before, they made all the DLC maps free, so everybody went and downloaded every single one of them.
I figured it kept going because Anthony keeps playing it. Or I forget what they called. Some spin-off of Donuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
I know they've played it a lot.
Oh yeah, it's a jolly good time.
Oh my gosh. So the next thing is, I thought it was funny and interesting for several reasons. So Shin Megami Tensei Crossfire Emblem, the character designer talks about creating designs. So besides discussing his challenge with using more saturated colors, because he's not used to using a lot of colors. With designing characters, I'll just quote him. He said this: "As far as characters go, we have discussions. Wow, such as we should what." I'm reading this so badly. All right, one more time. As far as characters go, we have discussions such as what should we do in terms of bust size, with suggestions like they could be large and have glasses to go with them, and no, glasses are not good, and so on.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
So Japan being Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty much.
They come on. They have some heavy-handed decisions. Come on.
Oh.
But I don't know. I thought it was funny that the first thing he had to mention when designing characters was just the most superficial aspect of the character, like the most pointless pointless aspect. I don't know. I thought it was funny when he said they could be large and have glasses to go with them. I couldn't help but think of just a pair of glasses sitting on some girl's cleavage. And like trying to make some sort of face, and just like this is ridiculous.
I think ridiculous just defines that game as a whole.
Yeah,
I mean, watching that trailer, like that was like the first game trailer I've seen in a long time where I did not know what the hell was happening, but like I was engaged the entire time because I just wanted to see how weird it would get.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Really wanted to see where it went.
I didn't even know what it was until because I was writing down what each thing was as I was watching it for news for the podcast, and I missed them introducing it. I'm like, is this some Atlas game? Like, is this Persona something? I'm like, what the heck is this game? And then they're like, oh, it's Fire Emblem. I'm like, what? Like,
I know, right?
This is weird, but it's interesting, but it's kind of weird Japan fan servicey, but I'm like, it also looks interesting, but they didn't show gameplay. I'm like, okay, it's confusing but interesting.
Indeed.
So that doesn't end the weird news for this week as well. So Nintendo on Twitter was trying to post something. They're just trying to make fun of the week. Okay, you know where I'm going with this.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, they meant to post Wiggler Wednesday. But accidentally post Wigger Wednesday instead. So in case...
So Waluigi won by default.
Yeah, they should have just went Waluigi Wednesday. No problems there. So in case anyone doesn't know what a Wigger is, it's basically a white person who lives the quote-unquote thug life, or if you want to be point blank, it's the white version of the N-word. So that stereotype that comes with people living in the hood or whatever in poor areas, living off the streets. It's a white version of one of those guys.
And the picture they posted
is like Waluigi riding on like Wiggler.
Waluigi.
It's Wiggler Wednesday. It's just so weird.
Hey,
and everyone kept posting it.
Xenoblade Chronicles X Nintendo Direct, man.
Yeah, no, I'll get to that. Actually, I'll let Flea get to that. But the last funny piece of news was apparently GTA 5 Online has banned Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox from being words for whatever reason. Who knows? It's just one of those things, I guess.
Dang.
There's some other news, but I'll let Flea go on with the Xenoblade stuff, because I didn't really record it. There was like a half-hour direct, and there was just so much I was writing down. So, Flea, why don't you tell us what happened in there?
Where?
The Xenoblade direct.
Yeah. Well, they did a small small story trailer in the intro. And then Bill Trinen from Nintendo did some sort of introduction, like hyping the game, and then they continued to do in a 1.5 hour of gameplay with Nintendo Treehouse.
Wow. Oh yeah, and they released. They showed off some of the English stuff. Well, they changed like the names from dolls before to like scrolls or something else. Yeah.
Skits.
Yeah, and some other stuff.
But they said that in the same treehouse, when they were playing the game.
Yeah.
They say that the mechs will be called in the North American version and the European version skits instead of dolls.
So did they announce any new? Did they show off any new gameplay stuff that wasn't previously announced, or?
No, what they did said in some sort of wimping is that I don't know when there were three people of the treehouse of Nintendo playing the game, one girl and two boys. I don't ask me the name because I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But when they were playing the Japanese version. They weren't playing the.
Oh, okay.
So when they were playing. I think in 25 minutes or 30 minutes of the gameplay, the girl skipped. She did it mistakenly, and then she went back. I think the game will have DLC. I mean story DLC.
Interesting. So it'll have like story-specific missions and whatnot. Like, would it be a separate chapter, or would it be a continuation of?
From what I think. When they were playing the game, it will be a separate chapter, and I think it will be playable not with the main characters. I think it will be playable with the enemies of the game.
That'd be cool. What are the enemies, by the way?
So all in all, the presentation was cool. I can't wait to have that game in my hands because you know that I'm a big fan of the Chronicles. I think it's one of the best games ever made by mankind.
So did they? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, go.
Oh, so I think in the 30-minute direct or whatever, was that in English? Like, didn't they show off like the story mode in English?
Yeah.
No, the gameplay is in Japanese, but there was a Japanese direct I mentioned last week. But yeah, it wasn't.
No.
What they did
was translate the story trailer
with
English subtitles. That's all.
Okay.
The gameplay, like Mike said, all the gameplay and the 1.5 hour gameplay of the Treehouse is all the Japanese version of the game.
Okay. Was there anything interesting that they revealed with the English translation? Like with the story and whatnot?
Yeah, I'm not hyping because I want to be a really cool head with the game, but I think the story will be freaking epic from the story trailer, and more so after seeing the gameplay or the 1.5 hour that Nintendo Treehouse showed. That I think this time, comparing with Xenoblade Chronicles, because I have to compare because both games are made from the same developer. Even they share the names. what I'm trying to say is that you can get more customizable characters like this game in any RPGs ever made.
It's interesting that they decided to show off the game for North America, even though there's no date or even a window for when it's releasing. We know it's releasing in Japan soon, but as far as North America, they haven't said anything. So it's weird that they're like, let's stream it.
There was a rumor that the game... There are two rumors. One, that the game will release on May the 30th in North America.
Mm-hmm.
And the more strong rumor is that the game will release one day after E3.
I'd probably believe the E3 one more because I'm sure there's a lot of translating, and if the game came out, I don't know, just recently, like what, April?
3 days ago.
Yeah, so I doubt they'd have it finished by May. I don't know, it seems a little soon for a huge RPG to me, at least.
Yeah,
But-
I don't know how the localization team in Nintendo works internally, and I don't know how many people they work there.
Yeah.
But I know it's a hell of a lot of work in an RPG because you have tons of files, menus, sub-menus, maps, locations. You have really tons of stuff to translate. But what I'm trying to say regarding the RPG in general is that I think this will be perhaps one of the most customizable RPG games ever made. I mean, you literally can customize everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, from what I saw of it, the customization looks amazing. It looks
But I mean,
close to like an MMO. Just
yeah, exactly, like an MMO. I mean, it's so depth is the customization that you even can fusionize weapons and fusionize armor to create new ones.
Awesome.
Oh yeah,
That's
freaking awesome.
Yeah, I haven't gotten too much into it, but I might have to look it up. I'm not too sure about the gameplay style if I like it, but there's some interesting things to it. So,
like I say, I know and understand the haters of that type of gameplay because it's not really for everyone. But I really like the pace of the gameplay when you battle. I don't know if any of you played Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii, but I like that type of gameplay where you can quickly turn the strategy in your favor. You know, it's not like the pace of fighting, like for example Final Fantasy 12. You know, that is a similar game, but it's really Final Fantasy 12 is really so slow in combat.
all right. So the next thing, I actually forgot when I was bringing up the Shin Megami Fire Emblem. Not embarrassing, but weird thing he mentioned. I also forgot to mention that So in Japan, they're all about boobs, and in North America, we're all about violence because Mortal Kombat has X-ray vision where you can kick someone in the balls, and it's pretty graphic. And I'm not gonna lie, it was disgusting, but I also couldn't help but look at it like a car crash. So we both have our both countries have our own quirks, I guess you could say.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So one other thing about Splatoon is it doesn't have custom match types with friends online, which is crazy. It doesn't have 4-player split screen locally. It only has 1 versus 1. It has no voice chat, and it comes with a video of a puppy drowning. And it also has Amiibo exclusive DLC, so it sucks because Splatoon looks really cool, but there's so many things that are also bringing it down, I think. Hopefully it can dig itself out of that hole for some people. Some unfortunate news with the Virtual Console, which shouldn't come as a surprise because Nintendo always announces a Virtual Console and then ditches it after 2 months. Nintendo seems to be done with SNES Virtual Console games because Natsume, who made Pocky and Rocky, someone was asking them, hey, are you going to bring Pocky and Rocky to the Wii Virtual Console? And they said they would like to, but Nintendo doesn't seem to be interested in working on SNES games anymore. so we may not get any more, which kind of blows.
There goes my chances for Spanky's quest.
I'm not even gonna ask.
It's an old SNES platformer that was made by Natsume.
Okay.
It was a very quirky game where you have to play as a monkey and toss a ball up and then bounce it on your head and kill these evil fruit that are being controlled by a witch.
Is it a sequel to Custer's Revenge?
Gosh. Fortunately not, but if you want to look at a naked monkey that way, that's your business.
So Nintendo was kind of hacked this week. Pokemon Rumble World was hacked, so all the codes for all the Pokemon, the outfits, and even the diamonds, which is the currency that costs real world money, was leaked online.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so pretty much everything...
Send me the link. Send me the link now.
So pretty much everything was released for that game, so anyone interested in that game can get it. The only downside, I guess, for those people who want to use the codes is they're one-time use only, so if you use that code, you can only use it once. Like, everyone can use it, but you can only use the code once. But the codes are for all regions, so... Yeah, so basically anyone can get whatever they want, at least once.
Sign me up, I'm gonna go get a Whooper. Where's the...
Put the code here in the chat page.
So while on Pokemon, in Japan they released an app which I thought was interesting that can translate the English version of Pokemon X and Y into Japanese when you take a picture of it. So in Japan, they have an app on iTunes, and then I guess through the iPhone's camera they take a picture of our English version. I don't know how it recognizes it or matches it, but it can translate it, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, but what about Gengar though?
Yeah, I was just gonna get to that. So in Pokken Tournament, they released the next fighter, which is gonna be Gengar. So maybe they're taking a look at Mugen, that fighting game, because I remember Gengar was in that. If anyone remembers that game.
No, I can't. Sorry, man.
Okay, it's some online game people made that was like a 2D, basically Street Fighter, but they put in every character they wanted, from like Pokemon to Simpsons to Family Guy. It was weird. Personally, I want Slurpuff to be in Pokken Tournament because it's hilarious and adorable, and it'd be like the joke character. It'd basically be the Jigglypuff of the game. But come on, I mean, it'd be like the clown Pokemon. It would throw like pies at people's faces and stuff. It'd be hilarious.
I'd be down for any wacky Pokemon that would make fun of like a 2D fighting game like that. Just be good.
Quickly, what fighter would you want in Pokken Tournament, Sam?
I'd just
wait.
Want
is Lucario and Mewtwo already in it?
Or who's playing music? Oh, that's mine.
Magikarp.
Sorry.
We need Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, man. We need those two. Those are the two that need to be in.
And yeah, Lucario's already in it. And Greninja's probably going to be in it. And
Magikarp.
Magikarp.
He'll splash the opponents.
Oh, yeah.
Quagsire. Just give me Quagsire. That's all I want.
Oh, that'd be cool. Quagsire.
Yeah.
Alright, so back to Xenoblade. Famitsu reviewed it. So what they do is they have 4 reviewers review the game, and across 4 reviews it got an average of 85%. So it got 2 9s and 2 8s from them. So that's interesting. Personally, I don't put too much weight into Famitsu because I think they kind of score a lot of games high that don't necessarily need it, but for those of you who are interested in Famitsu's reviews, there you go. They gave 2 9s and 2 8s. So back to Smash Brothers. Sakurai, you should like this, Mike, hopefully. Sakurai says he also hates how DLC is being improperly used, and calling DLC these days a scam and an epidemic with how much people are putting in microtransactions and this and that. It's kind of gotten out of hand. Sometimes publishers, Capcom, will cut out content and just resell it to you. But Sakurai hates that just as much as the rest of us, so it looks like he's going to at least try and be fair with it. I think some of the prices for Smash Bros are a bit off, but at least it doesn't seem he's gonna try to scam everyone out and be like, you want one extra turn, you're gonna have to pay $1.
Oh,
Okay, it's not an app game, all right.
No, it's definitely not, and it doesn't need to be. So Disney Infinity, I don't know if anyone really cares. The figures are at least cool, but Disney Infinity 3.0, the figures at least for it leaked. It showed off classic Mickey, Minnie, Mulan, Olaf from Frozen, not a surprise, Sam Flynn and Cora from Tron, and 5 characters from Inside Out. One of the new movies that's coming out probably this year or next year, where they take place inside of a girl's head and they go through that.
I was honestly wondering how long it would take for their sales to get, like, they were saving classic Mickey and Minnie for when the sales got like the lowest they probably have been, and then they probably threw those in to kind of bring them up a bit. But yeah, you'll see that, and they'll probably do a couple more classic characters the next round. But I figure that they're probably getting to the end of their rope with like sale wise, so trying to boost it.
I don't know. I saw the classic Mickey and Minnie ones, but I didn't really care too much for their design. I like their Disney Infinity designs better. Like, I don't know if they would bring a classic Donald Duck, but the one they already have, I like plenty, and I kind of want to get his figure. Speaking of Disney Infinity, Polygon sources claim that Star Wars figures are going to come to Disney Infinity.
Oh,
yeah.
baby.
So it was pretty much inevitable because they bought Star Wars. They're the ones who started the new trilogy. Obviously, they're going to put them in this game because they'll sell a crap ton. And with the new movies coming out this Christmas, it's probably going to come out. The figures are probably going to come out around Christmas, and probably 3.0 as well.
Probably.
The only question I have is kind of for Mike: is Kingdom Hearts going to get Star Wars universe characters? And would you want to see that in Kingdom Hearts 3, or do you want them to keep it out because it's not a Disney-made universe?
You know, I literally think about it all the time. I'm like, do I want Marvel? Do I want Star Wars?
Yeah.
Like, I barely want any of the new Disney. Like, the only one I'll probably abide to is probably Big Hero 6. The only new thing I would maybe abide to. Either way, it's like, I don't feel like there's a need to keep building on Disney worlds when, like, there's established worlds where the 7 Princes of Heart, like, they're pretty important. So, I mean, you mainly have to stay in their world. Like, it was cool that Mulan was in Kingdom Hearts 2, but, like, she isn't an important part of the premise of the actual overall story. So you gotta look at it in that aspect as well. Like, I wouldn't mind, like, I mean, I know Disney also owns Pixar. Like, Winnie the Pooh is a minigame thing, so I wouldn't mind if they did like a minigame thing instead of Winnie the Pooh, because we did him twice. Like, they do Toy Story instead.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not really for adding more Disney stuff or like Star Wars. Like, I mean, Tron may have been out of place, but it kind of worked in fine.
Yeah.
But Star Wars, I don't know how it worked, to be honest. Like, is Sora gonna learn the Force as well, or just be like, what the hell's going on? Like, you know?
Yeah, I'm interested, but yeah, I'm kind of on both sides of the fence because I mean, it would kind of be cool, but I also don't see some of the properties Disney's picked up really meshing with Kingdom Hearts, just because it doesn't really mesh with like the Disney kind of theme. So I mean, I wouldn't mind. I haven't really played much of Kingdom Hearts, but I wouldn't mind, I guess, seeing like some sort of cameo or a mini game or some little homage to like Marvel or Star Wars, but maybe not a huge part of it. What do you think, Sam? Because you love Kingdom Hearts, or at least your icon.
I really do. I really do. I think, honestly, if they could make Tron work in Kingdom Hearts, I think they could honestly do anything, because I'm the kind of person that just wants to just see how weird the series is going to get before this arc ends. So I'm for pretty much anything, except for maybe the more pirate movie stuff, because I feel like that they don't have as much of the fantasy aspects that you know, some of the other Disney worlds have, or even Star Wars has, you know, that kind of space fantasy kind of, you know, sci-fi-ish thing, magic-ish. But, yeah, I'm down for Star Wars. I wouldn't say I'm down for Marvel though. I think we've had enough Marvel in our media. It's pretty much everywhere at this point.
Yeah.
So one place they could stay out. But I wouldn't mind, Riku, having a conversation with Yoda. That would make my year.
So you're saying this 3 is the end of an arc. Do you
Fighting this boss, you must.
Three is the end of what Nomura has dubbed the Xehanort Saga.
Okay,
which
that's
is all the games up to this point.
Okay, so do you think in Kingdom Hearts 4 it'll be whenever that they decide to put that out, or whatever after 3 is 3.5 or some
That should
crap?
never happen. That's literally making a watch for should never happen.
Do you think Nomura
has already confirmed it? Nomura has already confirmed it after 3.
Legitimately, I know we're missing 7 darknesses, and we're still we have one too many, Guardians of Light. Like the series should end though. It's like now it's turned into one of those dragged out Star Wars series.
Do you think whatever comes
and Kingdom Hearts 2
3
is crap. That's the worst part. Like legitimately, the gameplay is crap. Like
For which?
Kingdom Hearts 2, the gameplay is garbage. Like
2?
it's so bad.
I love 2. 2 is my favorite, actually.
Oh god, how could you like a
it's
game
like
that
a
doesn't?
hack
You
and
can't
slash
kill a
on
boss
steroids.
without doing a finishing combo. Gummy
Oh,
ships
no,
were
we are
basically
entering,
like the
ladies and
worst
gentlemen,
possible
we are
thing.
entering
Combo,
Mike's
like I like the
runs.
forms, but summons magic got basically got nerfed. It's just not a good game. Like,
2 is definitely a different game compared to 1. That's definitely for sure. But I'm actually one of the ones that prefer 2 over 1, mostly because they sped up the combat. They made it a lot faster. It's more twitchy than it is actual. Like you said, there's less about magic, but there's more of timing.
I've never
about
used
timing.
magic. Like the thing is though. It became more flashy for useless reasons. Like, look, there's no problems if you spam triangle for action command. So it takes no skill to beat Xemnas' first form. Like, legitimately, you have to hold up on the stick and press triangle, and you beat that boss, and you feel good about yourself. And the second thing is like the magic system is. Besides that, it's bad. It's not fun, and most magic became useless. Like, I never use magic that's not cure, but it's like even though cure is basically it's almost a crime. They force you to use items in this game. And then I look at it in the other aspect, it's like, okay, I do like the idea of forms, and it gives me more abilities, but they gave me so many abilities that it's ironic that I have to actually cut down my combo pluses, which used to be like a great thing in Birth by Sleep or Kingdom Hearts 1. It's like, oh my god, I can finally do more than a 3-hit combo. Now I could do a 7-hit combo on Hercules, but since I didn't do a finisher, he can probably he could probably kill me mid-interruption when he goes into he has invulnerable frames. Like, it's dumb.
Well, I feel like though that even though they sacrificed that, they did make the beginning part where you choose your power. Actually, you can choose defense, magic, or attack. They really helped. They really fixed that compared to the first game, because that determines like what abilities you get. At what times, what parts of the game. I really think that really helped to make 2 more replayable too in some aspects, but. I actually probably have used magic more in 2 than I even did in 1, but that's because I've played the final mix version too, so I know a lot of the bosses of that require magic. But
dude, I got a plat and I never used anything but cure. Like I don't think magic is useful.
Even
but at the same time,
Demic's
it's like
even
as
Demic's
someone
data
who
form.
uses
Even
cure as
Demic's
my
data
magic,
form?
it's like. I don't even consider cure magic. It's its own thing. It's like it's annoying to see the fact that I'm forced to use these items and like change my gameplay style completely. And the fact that Kingdom Hearts 2 didn't even have a dodge roll. Like that you had to they had to remake the game in Final Mix to get limit form, so everyone's like, oh, this is better.
Well, see, the thing of it is though, even though they did change that, they did add variety because they're forcing you to learn how to play differently. I mean. You don't really have. You can't just mash A and cure like you could in the first game. You legitimately have to use triangle. You have to know when the enemy is vulnerable or you can't attack. You also have to combo the enemy, because if you don't combo the enemy, it basically forces you to get good enough to actually make a combo on him. You know what I mean? And then you can use that ability for some of the later game bosses to be better at it.
it's like it almost
I
it
see where
almost
you're going on that, but the
encourages
thing
you.
is, though, this game, like I said, there's no penalty for pressing triangle at any time. Like, if I'm playing Zelda and I press triangle while I'm running away, I'll get jumped 9 times, then after that, I can follow up after a 9-jump, 3-bar killing. I could just follow with a combo, transform into master form, and then boom. Like, that takes no skill. Like, this game took no skill. Like, Kingdom Hearts 1, like, took a lot of skill. Like, I wasn't just pressing X. Like, in this game, like, I legitimately feel like that, but I don't like when people say that, because Kingdom Hearts is more than pressing X. Like, it's not about that. And it's like, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna get your ass kicked. Like, you can't do that to Zelda, and he has a win barrier. Like, if you keep doing it, you're gonna get knocked back, and you're gonna get knocked down to 1 HP. But it's just, for me, if you're gonna put an action command, don't call it action, and it requires no action at all. It's like, okay, if you're pressing X and triangle, there's gonna be no penalty. And you're actually going to get a bonus. And the only difference, if you did press triangle too early in some sequences, you weren't penalized. You would just kind of escape without doing more damage, like against Roxas or the Xemnas Final Mix 2 fight.
I think you both said a lot of good points, but I'm going to have to kind of cut you guys off so we can... so this doesn't end up being half an hour longer for Mike bickering and going back and forth. So I'll just go through a couple more quick pieces and then maybe like one piece we can talk about. So one of Splatoon's directors played Perfect Dark back in his college days, which is kind of cool. AVGN Adventures is coming to the 3DS. Project Cars will offer a free Furious 7, the new Fast and Furious movie, car the Lycan, as a thank you for everyone waiting. They also want to have a car launch each month for the foreseeable future, as they've put it. It sounds like they want to try to put their best foot forward, and they've delayed it a lot and try to make it as best they can. But there was also a listing for Project Cars 2, so who knows what's going on with that, if they're getting a bit ahead of themselves or not. And speaking of getting ahead of themselves, the series producer for Bravely Default says he already has a concept for the third game, just as the second one comes out in Japan, and he says if the second one does well enough, he will already just send off the proposal for the third one. It's Fantastic. Like, oh, okay, let's, the whole point of this was let's not go back in Final Fantasy territory so quickly. Not just the fact that serializing it, but just losing sight of it. So as long as they don't lose sight of it, but let's just keep it down a little. Activision, which out of the two music games of Rock Band and Guitar Hero Live is only coming to the Wii U. Rock Band 4 won't. But Activision says for Guitar Hero Live they don't want to do annual releases for the game or its controllers, so they're not going to have Guitar Hero Live 3, 4, 5, 6, and whatever, which is honestly what killed the music genre before. They make some good points and some obvious points about it doesn't really make sense in this day and age, especially with music and whatnot. It just makes more sense.
Did Guitar Hero do good on the Wii?
I have no idea, actually.
It's like, I mean, I know it's multi-plat, but I was like, was it like better sold on the Wii, or because I feel like Rock Band was like the Xbox, PlayStation one.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see the people who had the Wii buying it because they have it and it's just easy to pick up and play, but for longevity reasons, there's no reason to get it on Wii because you couldn't get any DLC for it. So yeah, Guitar Hero doesn't mention anything like doing themed sequels like Aerosmith or what Rock Band did with the Beatles, but so far they say no annual releases, so far so good.
I have to say,
yeah,
I've never played any of the. I've seen them played, but I've never actually played the Guitar Hero games. But when I saw the announcement trailer for Guitar Hero Live, I chuckled within myself more than I've chuckled at any other thing related to that series, because holy crap, FMVs are back.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It might be the last one, though. Do you still have all your old stuff? I know people got rid of theirs, but...
Oh, I laughed so hard.
Yeah. Jeez. One of the last few pieces, Mike, you should be excited by this. A 3D Adventure Time game is coming to 3DS and Wii U and basically every other console. Yeah. There's not a lot about it yet. There's really, really basic like alpha footage, but yeah, there's a 3D Adventure Time game coming, so you can check out for that. And last but not least, which was recently posted earlier today, more about Yoshi's Woolly World. They posted some pictures as well. Some quick details are enemies can't be unraveled with Yoshi's tongue. You actually have to bound them in wool first and then jump on them. I think when they mean bound them in wool, it's the same as throwing an egg. Like in the trailer when they threw an egg at the piranha plant and like clamped its mouth shut. So it looks like you'll have to throw an egg on it before you can just eat it. Apparently it handles just like the other games in the series. Unlike Epic Yarn, it will have an actual health bar and take damage. How easily you can get hurt remains to be seen, but you can get hurt for sure. And they're going to have the jumping star hoops at the end. That was also seen in a couple of trailers. I don't know why they reinterpreted that. Okay, so collecting all 5 Wonder Wools in a level that they weren't sure what the heck they were doing with before will unlock a new Yoshi design that you can use in every level. So it sounds like it might be a costume that you get. I didn't really get to read over it too much.
One thing about Woolly World that I really, really hope that they take from the SNES version is because I played the living crap out of the SNES version. I got a SNES off my uncle when I was 11 years old, and that was one of the games he had with it. I 100%ed it, and what I loved the most about completing it was you just unlocked so many different bonus levels. There were so many like mini games, and there was just constantly things unlocking. It felt like everything was rewarding. I really, really hope they do that with Woolly World. That they're pushing, like you were saying with the costumes, that they're pushing for that feeling of completing everything, get something. Completing everything, get something. And I would prefer bonus levels, but a costume, I'll take it.
Yeah.
As long as the game, is similar enough to the original Yoshi story or Yoshi's Island, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I didn't get to check up all the details, so there might be bonus levels or not.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So far, it seems from these details that they're trying to step away from Kirby's Epic Yarn, which I'm happy with, because I don't think anyone... Like, Epic Yarn was cool, but we don't want here's Epic Yarn but with Yoshi instead. We would actually want like an actual Yoshi game.
Yeah.
Because, why have the same thing just in a different coat of paint, right?
Yeah, as someone who loved Epic Yarn, I don't want Yoshi to be Epic Yarn.
So he'll also have transform... Yeah, you can transform into different things again. It says an umbrella, a mole, a giant version of himself, and a motorbike. It sounds like motorbike. Yeah, it sounds like these are different than when he's running or flying or doing a ground pound when he turns into stuff. It sounds like it's when he collects like a little power up where you have like those little timed sections. It sounds like that's part of it.
Sweet. Sweet.
So I missed something with the designs. When you unlock a new design, it says ranging from Flower Yoshi and Circus Yoshi to one that's based upon the Shy Guy enemy. So
what?
That's
Shy Guy
that's
Yoshi?
weird. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! They're breaking the third wall.
He ate himself.
No.
But that's cool because I don't think I've seen Yoshi with any sort of outfits or anything. And if Kirby Triple Deluxe is anything to go by, Circus Yoshi should be like the best Yoshi.
Yes.
That's gonna be awesome to see.
Yeah, I should be more excited for that game than I am, but I haven't had a lot of time to play a lot of games other than Final Fantasy. But
yeah,
I really looking forward to that game.
Yeah, they haven't released too much of it across the whole time we've seen it either. So.
Mm-hmm. We really haven't.
Yeah, the last time they showed off gameplay, they didn't even know what they were doing with wool. So there's a lot to be expected from that game. And then finally, the mellow mode, which they announced was kind of like the easy mode, like with Donkey Kong Country and all that. You won't actually be invincible. You can die. It probably will be a little bit harder to die, but it's possible to die. You're not just invincible. And you're not just flying through the whole game. It's your wings replace your flutter jump. So instead of holding A and fluttering in the air for a couple of seconds, you'll have wings instead. For how long, I don't know, but they're making some compromises. So it's not just like hold right to win.
Right. Like, well, it's kind of like Mario 3D World, and where they gave you the Tanuki suit, the Super Tanuki suit, but you could still die with it.
Could you?
But it's just harder to die. Yeah, you could fall in lava or fall off the stage.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. I never used it. I don't think.
Oh,
I might have been 3D Land at one point, but I didn't use it all that much to keep a note of it.
I think I used it a couple times, but it was goofing around. And because there's a lot of like when you're playing that game with other people, you just you start trolling each other and like throwing each other. It's like, just F this, give me this.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be shenanigans when you have like 2 or more people.
Oh yeah,
especially with bubbles. Can you pop me out? No, I'm going to climb this, and you're going to stay in there. I hate you. And then you just press the bubble on the other person's controller, and you both die.
Right. Oh gosh.
Just trolling each other.
Mm-hmm.
Good times.
Indeed.
So, Sam, is there anything you wanted to talk about before we close the podcast? We don't have any questions or anything, but I figured give you the spotlight.
Does it have to be Nintendo related, or
no? If you don't have anything, you don't have to say either. But I figured I'd give you some light.
Oh. Well, I will say I saw the new Batman trailer today. It looked interesting, to say the least. I don't know if I'm going to like it as much as I did City, but it definitely looks like fun. I'm sure Flea is probably stoked about it too, maybe?
Yeah, I saw the trailer, but I'm right now, this is personal, Mm-hmm. I'm not just as excited as I am with Xenoblade Chronicle X. All the other upcoming games are way low on my hype list. Even Star Wars Battlefront, I loved Battlefront 1 and 2, but I know that the game is developed by EA, and I'm really still have my gripes if I want to get that game or not. So
they're not quelling any doubts people have. That's for sure.
So, Mike, do you like?
It's EA.
Yeah, it's EA.
I heard like 3 things. What's up?
Do you like the Arkham series at all, or the Batman?
I've only played. I've played a little bit of the first, but I really played the second one, which apparently is the best one. So I don't really know what to judge. So then I did the Bane fight for my cousin in the third one, Origins or whatever, because he couldn't beat it. And I was like, all right, but I don't know how I feel about Night right now. Like, it's a game I want, so I haven't watched any trailers. Like Sam, for me, for things I want, I try to learn. I try to keep myself in a cave. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna probably get this game and play it. So I refuse to even know what the cover looks like.
Matt, you?
So the Batman series, the Arkham series, or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of like Assassin's Creed to me, where I see it and I'm like, that looks really cool, and I like the environment and I like what they're doing, and then I try it a bit and I'm like, I'm not really into this all that much.
That's fair.
I didn't play the Arkham game I played. I didn't play it all that much, maybe like a half an hour or an hour, but I don't know, it didn't really grip me. So maybe I'll try like one of them if it's cheap and I feel like it, but I don't know. But I saw a bit of the new trailer, and I won't say anything for Mike's sake, but what they showed off looks cool.
Yeah.
It's hard to say without actually saying it, but
I know.
From the trailer, at least I saw today, they're doing something different they haven't done with the other ones, which looks really cool.
I will say I played the first two. I played Arkham Asylum and City. I do like City more, but Asylum has more of a Metroid-y feel, and I kind of wish they would maybe bring that a little more into the new one. Though it doesn't look like they're going that direction at all. Like from the trailer, it looks like they're heading straight into the where City was going with like bigger confrontations and stuff. But yeah, it looks neat, and I'll probably pick it up on PS4 when I get one.
Yeah,
so
definitely the graphics are amazing on that game.
Oh, absolutely
like, holy
beautiful.
crap!
Like the
Batman
armor
and the car and the characters. Like, jeez.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, so I think that about closes it up for today. So why don't we go around and tell everyone where you can meet us? So let's start off with Mike.
Alright guys, Mike, you can find me at Super Nintendo Bros on YouTube or Troy Fullbuster on Twitch. Oh yeah, well, Super Nintendo Bros on IGN as well. Well, I forgot what the hell was up last time. I think it was like Titan Souls, or I think Billy played Minecraft, and I'd never seen Minecraft until like Sunday, so I had no idea what was going on.
Alright, Flea, why don't you go?
I'm Flia Daloisio from MyIGN, and nothing more. Have a great week and continue to play games, and don't forget to buy Xenoblade Chronicle X when it comes out.
Alright, and Sam, why don't you go?
I'm Sam13007 on MyIGN, and I'm also a streamer on the Streaming Mug, which is on Twitch, and I stream twice a week, and I play the Old Republic and Terraria also on there, so yeah.
Cool. I'm Matt, also known as the Mango Viking, and you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And you can also find Eli at Palace Salon at IGN.com. And Nintendo Enthusiast, I almost forgot the website. Alright, thanks Sam for coming. Thanks to everyone.
No problem.
It was cool talking to you. Thanks for everyone listening. And before we go out, we actually have some other little updates I want to say. So if you listeners aren't aware, you can find Just Another Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, iTunes, Twitch, where we live stream every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you actually want to send us questions, in addition to MyIGN with Flea's blogs, you can also email us at justanothercastle@gmail.com. Just put questions in the subject line, and Flea is keep posting things. You can it's distracting. So you can email us at justanothercastle@gmail.com. Just put questions in the subject line because it filters it for us. Or if you want to be a guest, just put guest in the subject line, and Flea can address you with that. And
throw the beard out here with this goodbye, man. Boo.
What?
We like you live.
Just to let our listeners know that I'm getting out of the pit without the rope, and people are screaming Deshi Basara from below.
Oh, yo, but Matt, good job with the host today, man.
Oh, thanks.
And you were able to drag me here in 5 minutes. Good job. Good job. You were able to get me here, not 30 minutes late. Good job.
Somehow. All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we'll return to our usual podcast next week. See ya.
Yep.
Bye-bye.